Here goes part C, the difficult 07 through 17 GM product 3.0 3.6 starter. This one, the through bolts are both stuck in place, and you have to get pretty creative to make this work out. Let's make it happen. Right in a trash can. Trash can. Seal needs to get out of the way. Grommet comes out. And now, gotta get that planetary gear out of there so that we can start working on getting these two through bolts out, which are stuck. At the same time, taking a look down inside there at the bushing. I hope you can see it there. If that bushing is egged out so badly that it's eaten right into the housing, you're done. You need a new housing. Give up. Go get a new starter. This one is not. We'll be able to work with it if we can get the through bolts out. One of them has to get cut off short. The big vice grip. Cut that one off so that you can spin this vice grip around. But you left it long enough because you're going to grab it next. You just as soon not distort this out here because it won't look very pretty. So I put quite a bit of heat out here. And then I go inside with the heat. Of course, keep me grief, Joe. I suppose I'm going to hear about that. Only light pressure because you can't twist the bolt off with the thread still embedded in the case. And then you're done. You'll need another housing. And I'm not aware of anybody who will sell these housings to me. So that's why we have to go through the grief to sell the business. And even at this point, I've ruined many by turning aluminum right into a puddle. Let's see how she goes here. You hear my fan running in the background? I recommend you have one of those. Might as well keep your lungs alive. At least try. Don't give up yet. All is not lost. One down, one to go. Now you remember this is because of our bad ground. Electricity was trying to find a way. This is one of its paths that it chose. Oh, I just got that one loose, but I melted the outside a little. We'll dress that up before we're done. I think we still got something to work with here. Get rid of those into the scrap before you grab one and burn your fingers. And we're going to let that cool down for a minute because that stew is pretty hot. This time we know that this bushing is destroyed because again, it was trying to find the ground and for a while it went through this bush. Keep that. I've kind of did a little grinding on these side cutters to make them grab these snap rings, and I'm just going to throw it away because the one off of a Delco starter works fine, and I have hundreds of them in a drawer. Keep that in the trash. Keep your planetary. This is the only bushing that's not destroyed. Do you know why? Because it's in plastic. The electricity couldn't try to flow through it, so it'll be okay. That bushing right there, watch this. Holy smokes. You think that starter will drag? Now, this is a trouble spot for me, always is. I'm sorry. I'm sure someone is going to have a better way to do this. I bought a 3/16 punch and I turned it into a little tiny chisel. And I just simply start cutting that bushing off of there. Suppose you want my hand out of the way. Okay, I'll do that. Some days go better than others. And yes, you will dull your chisel that you just created. So you're going to bottom out on steel. Got it. Needs a good wash. You just heard me get rid of the sticker because that's going to be troublesome otherwise. We're going to take this to the lathe in a bit. These bushings are no good. Completely wallowed out. Now's as good a time as any. Drive them out of there. We're going to need a new seal. Quite often they're rotted or broken. Yeah, it's still hot. It'll make you jump. But we got to move on, so let's bring it back up here. We'll use a little longer chisel, keep from burning the fingers. What did I say about dull? This bushing also was completely wallowed out, egg-shaped, difficult to get out of there because it's kind of welded in. Let's go back to the little one. Tempted to just, cut the camera off, come back and let you think it was easy. We're trying to kind of prove it's not always that easy. There, I got some movement. There we go, we knocked it out of there. Now, everything needs cleaned. We'll be back. Before we head back to the vise for reassembly, there's a couple of things I need to show you here over at the lathe. If I have you look really close at this armature, you'll see that where this shaft rides in the bushing, it's got bushing material somewhat welded to it. We got to get rid of that, so I do that on the lathe. There was some of that going on the other end as well. We're going to go after that, and we're going to polish up the commutator. And I like to use the orange garnet paper instead of emery cloth on that. That's something they taught us way back in the day. A company called Ace Electric used to put on seminars 35 years ago. But I still believe what they said. I think if you use emery cloth there, you run the risk of some of the stones embedding in the copper commutator and then grinding off the brushes faster than they should. So I do like to stick to garnet paper here. So we're going to do that to the armature. I'll let you watch. Same thing happened on the drive shaft right here. I hope you can see it. It's got bushing material stuck all over it because the electricity was trying to find a path to ground. You can open up these jaws and grab the 3 pins you see right there. And nicely get rid of that material. Yeah, we'll talk about this again in the future. It's pretty rare that you have to actually turn the commutator on these little permanent magnet gear reduction armatures. Hard to get the paper in there. It can be done. Get that bushing material, sand it off. Still there. Getting prettier all the time. Here's a critical point I nearly forgot to show you. The case for our starter, which, yes, I've been busy. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I've had this to the bead blaster after I washed it, got all the gunk out of it, and I've painted it, and now we're going to get ready to go back to the bench to install it. But you see how I got paint on that lip? That is an insulator. It will not help our ground problem, so we got to get rid of it. Much nicer. We're back for reassembly. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I find that very annoying when someone all of a sudden shows back up with all clean parts. No rust in the way, no grime in the way. I almost feel like that's sweeping the wool under the rug. There's quite a bit of work goes into all of that. So I've been gone. Probably got 20 minutes into getting this cleaned up. It's been to the parts washer It's been rinsed in hot water. It's been through the steel shot blaster. And now we're going to get ready and put in some helicoils because we ripped out the through bolts. And something I forgot to say. You're wondering, why didn't I just hit it with the torch over here from the get-go instead of going through all that trouble of cutting the heads of the through bolts off and pulling everything apart? Well, you see that? That planetary gear that sits right in there, that's plastic. If I'd have did that, it'd have been a melted puddle, ruined, and stuck in place. So the only way to do it is, that I know of, is to cut the heads off so you can pick everything off, get it all apart before you start applying the heat. And I don't want to be a deceptive guy. Remember I said I kind of almost puddled and ruined my housing? I came pretty doggone close. But my new threads are going to be deep down in there, so we will be structurally sound. But I wish I hadn't done that. And so, the next thing we have to do to get this put back together is put in a couple helicoils. So you need a number 5. That's what these are. And they can be a little, well, I'm forgetting something. Sorry, forgive me, please. We need to run a 13/64 drill in there so it's the right size for our helicoil. Both sides. Try this again. Should go a little easier now. I suspect if I take too long at this, Jane will edit, speed things up for your sake. But if she does, just know I earn my keep. I earn my money. It's not all peaches and cream. A lot of this is putsy. And in some cases, it might not be worth it. It might be better to just move on. But if you're still here with me watching, you'd like to accomplish this for yourself. And I don't blame you. Sometimes you feel like it's personal between you and a chunk of aluminum and steel and plastic and copper, and you would like to be the winner, and so would I. But every once in a while it gets so bad we end up saying terrible things like dirty, dirty dog lips. Those are my cuss words. If you've never worked with helicoils, they're kind of fun. It's just a repair insert. You get to put brand new threads in where you wrecked them in the past. That's my compressor in the background. I was wise enough at this shop to put the compressor far away so I don't have to hear it so much. There's a little tab on the bottom there that you gotta bust out now. And this doesn't always go perfectly. I like to just check. It's kind of a bummer to get far along and find out your helicoil isn't working out. But if I put a number 5 tap through there right now, I'll know if we're ready to move forward. Oh, good thing I am. We are past the worst of it. We're ready to install that bushing. Add some grease. Oh, and I know I've got fellow rebuilders who say, you're not supposed to put grease in there. I'm sorry, I disagree. I've seen many cases where there was no grease in there and it didn't go well. And in my 43 years, I really haven't seen them come back because there was grease in there. That was something they tried to teach us decades ago, but that one didn't stick with me. I'm just checking. It's gotta be ready to go in. Notice how nice and tight that is. Actually a little tighter than we want. Loosen it up. Little sideways tap. Get everything moving like it should. There we go. Well, this is going poorly. This is almost going to get a dirty dog lips out of me. There we go. That is ready. I'm going to set that aside for the moment. One other thing I failed to say, I'm sorry, if when you got past your through bolts and tore this apart and you found broken magnets inside, yeah, you should have quit then. You don't really have the pieces to put that back together unless you've got more starters laying around that you can rob from. And yes, that can be done. We need to assemble a planetary gear and drive, some lithium grease. Like I said, this bushing almost never fails. Oh, and I almost forgot. Let's take that out. I'm too busy talking to you. We're going to do an episode about that. Distractions. It's going to include a deer story. Nice. Nice and tight. Now back to where we were. In there we go. Keep your fingers clean at this point. This thing has to look pretty or you won't want to buy it. New drive. Keep this part here. This one is right out of the drop the retaining ring in place. Put in the retaining clip. Give it a squeeze. Another portion from the Delco starter drive that we're just going to use to help us put this together. A double squeeze. Not going to be used. It was just to help us put it together. A little bit of that lightweight machine oil. Grab our shift fork. Goes this way. Our drive-in housing. Ready to drop everything in place. Our grommet between the solenoid and the motor. Our new solenoid has to have a plunger and a spring. Don't forget that new seal. We need to put a little grease in that new bushing. Set this aside for a moment. Talk about our three little planetary gears that still need bushings. There's a note here to be made. One side has a lip that's turned in. one side has a lip that's turned open. You have to put the bushing in through the turned open side or you'll have great difficulties. Be aware of that. We're on the home stretch. Here's our jazzed up armature. We can drop it in our case. We can mark where our tab goes so we're not confused. Right there. No problem with this new brush holder assembly. It has that plastic ring holding everything in place. Let's not goof it up and have to backtrack. I don't see many parts left on the bench, so I think we're pretty safe. In it goes. Just sweet. Greasing that new bushing. Through bolts. Where did I get those, you say? Yeah, they came out of a Ford starter. Probably too long. Yeah, we probably shouldn't try that. Bear with me a second. We're coming back. Got a drawer full of these. Too short. Too short. You might not have this luxury. That's as long as the Ford. I like that one. And that one. Let's give it a whirl. Let's hope my helicoils work. I bet you thought I was going to grab the air wrench. Ha! Fooled you that time. I don't know. One down. Oh, I like it. Two down. Oh man, we're gonna win. Brush holder screws. So close now. Motor lead to the solenoid. Already prepped with dielectric. This is it. Finish line. Oh, what a long run. If you stuck with me right to the bitter end here, bravo. My brother told me, make some long videos. He says, those are the ones, he says, on a Sunday afternoon. I like to just turn one on and watch for a while and then just kind of drift off to sleep. I hope you didn't do that. There it is, pretty as a picture. Join us next time. You know the drill. I need to hear from you. Subscribe, hit the like button.